All right, guys, this is Tai Zen again. Hey, the DAOHub.org pre-sale, crowd sale, whatever you want to call it, ICO is going on right now. And I got my buddy, JW here on the phone here. Say hello to JW.
Hey, everybody.
Okay, so JW and I were just discussing some stuff about the DAO pre-sale tokens here. And we got some more clarification from, I've been trying to get the Oracle of Austin, the Oracle of Cryptocurrencies, LeonFu.com, my buddy Leon, to come on and explain some of this stuff, but he's been really busy, so I haven't had time to catch up with him. But he did share a few things with me that he wanted me to share with you guys, okay? So the way that the DAO works is there's a couple of things that I had a misunderstanding about, and I want to clarify it right now, okay? One is that I thought that the DAO was going to, that when first of all, I made the mistake. I thought that you can invest into Slockit, okay, with Bitcoins or any type of coins, okay? So
I think we all did.
Yeah, that's what I think that, but Leon, he knew the whole time that you can only invest into it with ethers, and he thought that I understood that too, but I was not aware of that. I thought that, just like any other ICO, you can buy it with Bitcoins. You go through Shapeshift and convert your doggy coins, NXT coins, or Litecoins or Bitcoin into getting the ICO for Slockit, right? And what happened was, now I'm finding out that you can only invest into Slockit via the DAO Hub, okay? And the way it is it's like what you just said earlier on the phone, right? The DAO, you got to look at the DAO like a company or a corporation or a venture capitalist. And what they're doing is they're raising money, right? Just like any venture capitalist would. They're going to raise money from all of us, right? And they're going to raise they're going to raise money from all of us, and they're going to take that money and invest it into they're going to take that money and invest it into different projects. One of those projects is Slockit. So according to Leon, there's like 5 other projects that they're going to be investing money into, and the way that they determine which project to invest in is that they have like over a dozen what they call curators. Okay, so these are human curators, and they curate. They pretty much review the submissions and the proposals for a project that's requesting money for a project. So, for example, after the DAO token sale is over with, the Slockit team is going to submit a proposal to the DAO. But before it gets to the DAO and it gets voted on by the token holders like you and I and other listeners, right? The listeners that have bought into the DAO, that bought DAO tokens, okay? So what happens is they're going to submit a proposal, but before it goes to the DAO and the DAO token holders for a vote, they have a team of curators, including Vitalik Buterin, the inventor of Ethereum, and pretty much all the guys on the Ethereum Foundation are part of the curators, and pretty much all the guys that are the core developers and all the coders that are working on the Ethereum project. Most of them are all part of the team of curators, okay? And they're going to look at the proposal that Slockit submits and proposals that any other teams submit to get funding, and then they'll decide on it that it's not spam, right? That it's a legitimate proposal. Then they're going to put that out there on the DAO for people like you and I, the investors into the DAO Hub, to vote on it if we want to give them money to work on that project. Now, obviously, the Slockit team is also the former guys that worked on Ethereum. So it would be obvious that we would vote for them to get the funding that they need from the DAO so that they can work on their Slockit project, the Smart Lock project. So does that make sense? So it's not just the Slockit team. See, I thought that it was just the DAO was just going to fund the Slockit team only, but it's not. They're going to fund any proposals that are submitted to them, and the human curators are going to determine if it's a legitimate proposal and that it's not spam, and then they're going to put it on the table for all the DAO token holders to review and to vote on it.
Do we know how much the Slockit team wants from the DAO?
We don't know. We don't know. And it's just like any other venture capitalist, right? If they raise money and they decide that they don't have enough, they can always come back and do a second round of fundraising, like they are right now. So they can do a third round, so things like that. So it's not just a one-time. I don't believe that it's just a one-time fundraising. But just like any other venture capitalist, the people that get in early are the ones that's going to get the most shares and they get the most voting rights, and they're going to be more profitable. The ones that take the most risk getting in early.
So basically, the DAO is going to be like a venture capital firm that we talked about, and it's just going to take a piece of Slockit from every sale. Yeah.
So whatever Slockit makes from the sale of its products or services, I think that the estimated number right now is that they'll take 1%. Right? They'll take 1% of the revenues, and or I don't know if it's 1% of the net profits or gross sales, but it's 1%, and then they're going to take that and they're going to split it among all the token holders in the DAO Hub. So I'm just going to throw some numbers out there just in case, just to make up some numbers so that everyone can have an idea. Okay. So for example,
and then I have another question for you.
Okay.
Actually, hold that thought, because now here's a business question for you. If Slockit's going to borrow money from the DAO or get basically free money from the DAO to start their business, can they go out and borrow money from banks like other private corporations, or is it just going to be totally from the DAO? Like the DAO?
I don't see anything that's preventing them from raising money from other sources besides the DAO. But here's the thing. The purpose of doing that, they're the ones the team that did the Slockit, they're also part of the team that created the DAO in the first place. So the reason why they're doing that is so that they can avoid all the, because here's the thing. In America, if you request funding and you request funds from investors, you have to go through a bunch of legal bullshit. Right? I don't know what all the legal stuff is, but you got to go through a bunch of legal nonsense in America and in Western countries. You have to file with the SEC. You have to do all this other stuff, disclosures, and it's a long and lengthy process, and it's not easy. And you have to have a bunch of legal attorneys and stuff involved to raise the money. The reason why they're doing it in the form of tokens is because tokens are not shares of a company, and because it's a autonomous organization that lives on top of the Ethereum blockchain. There's no humans involved in it, right? Other than the curators. Right. So they what they're doing is it avoids a lot of legal SEC laws and all kinds of stuff. So it allows people from all over the world to participate in the fundraising, because you and I both know about the accredited investor bullshit, in America, where if you cannot invest into a project like this, see, if they did this like the regular route, the business route in America, you and I would not be able to invest into it. It would require both of us to have $1 million net worth, and then it would require that we have an income of $250,000 or more a year in income before we're allowed to invest into it. By them doing it on the DAO, which is a decentralized autonomous organization, they don't have to deal with any of that because they're not issuing shares. They're just issuing tokens.
Right. Like a second Renaissance.
Yeah, so by doing that, they allow more people to be involved in their fundraising. So if you're asking me, hey, can they go raise money from the private sector? I'm sure they can. I'm sure they can raise money from the private sector, but it would create a lot of problems, because then they would have to go through all that legal mumbo jumbo to legal paperwork to get to have the ability to raise money from the public like that. But by doing it on the blockchain, then they don't have to go through all that.
Right. So the DAO could actually go out and do a second funding that we talked about.
Yeah.
And raise more money and invest in more organizations like Slockit and become, multi-trillion-dollar
exactly. So
autonomous organization.
Just like how like Mark Andreessen, he has his own VC venture capital firm. So this allows. This is the same thing, except it's just done on the blockchain and it's done with everyone involved. So if you're only worth $10, let's say that you live in a village in Africa and all you make is $10 a month. And let's say that somebody in America makes $10,000 a month or $100,000 a month in income. It doesn't matter because the guy in Africa that only has $10 to his name, as long as he has a cell phone and a computer access and internet access, he can participate in this VC, this venture capitalist. He can participate in this, and if Slockit does well, right? Let's say Slockit makes $100 million a year in selling their smart locks. Okay, let's just make up that number, $100 million a year. Well, 1% of that is going to go to the DAO, so that's $1 million. So that $1 million, that 1% that goes to the DAO is going to take that $1 million and they're going to split it up proportionally according to how much money you put in. So let's say that let's say that there's 10,000 people that invested, that bought into the DAO Hub token sale, right? And let's say that you bought enough to represent 1% of the entire token sale. So they raised as of right now, I think they raised like $16 million or $15 million, between $15 and $16 million. Let's say that they raised $15 million already, and you put in
almost $19 million.
Okay, so let's just round up to $20 million. So just so the math is easy for me to do on the phone here. Okay, let's say that they raised $20 million, and you yourself put in 10% of that. You put in $2 million of that yourself. Then that means that $1 million that gets distributed, you get 20% of that. You get 10% of that. I mean, you get that proportion of it. Does that make sense?
Yep, it does.
Okay, so that $1 million that they gave to that Slockit pays out to the DAO. So that's basically that 1% is basically you can think of it as like the interest that they have to pay to the DAO for borrowing money from the DAO. You know what's fascinating about this whole thing is that it's fascinating to me because everyone in the world can participate in it. They don't have that bullshit limit of you having to be worth $1 million net worth and you have to make $250,000 a year in income to do it.
Well, also look what it's going to do to companies, these investment banks one day as this grows and becomes something even bigger. These companies like Morgan Stanley and Goldman Sachs and even the smaller guys that do these deals. People are going to go to the DAO maybe and exactly. So what they're creating? Remember, the entire Ethereum team. Their goal is to create the highways or the platform. They're creating a platform so that everybody can participate in it. So they're basically building the highways and let everybody build the cars to drive on top of it. So they're basically building the interstate highways, and they want everybody to come build houses, businesses, commercial buildings, street lights, and all that stuff on top of their highway. So this DAO, the Ethereum network, already allows people to come there and build decentralized applications on top of it, right? And now what they're doing with the DAO Hub is that in order to build those decentralized applications, there has to be a way to raise money to build it, to pay for the developers, the coders, the salespeople, the marketing team, the promotion teams, to market those decentralized apps, right? So what they're doing now is they're building the DAO Hub, which is an autonomous software. It's like if you watch the Terminator, this would be like the equivalent of like Skynet, okay? And so it's like building Skynet to be in charge of the venture capitalist stuff. So now it's just code. It's just software code. And why is that important? I believe that's important because of this. Because if you go to like all the venture capitalist firms right now in Silicon Valley, out in San Francisco and stuff, if you want to invest into it, and let's just say that you do have $1 million net worth and you do make $250,000 a year, they can say no to you. Well, right? And they're probably going to laugh at you.
Yeah, they'll laugh at you. They'll say no to you. Let's just say that the firm, the bank that took Facebook public or Google public, and you're an accredited investor, and you go in there and you say, hey, I want to buy some shares, some early shares, of Facebook or Google. They're just going to laugh at you. They're going to hook up their own buddies first.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Well, why wouldn't they? Like, I would do the same thing too. Like if I was the one that was doing the IPO for Facebook or Google, and you're my friend, I'm going to hook you up with the early. I'm going to give you the opportunity to invest in it early before some dude in China somewhere that I don't know. Right.
Right. As would I and everybody else.
Exactly, and all the listeners, they would do the same thing too. If that's they're going to hook up their friends and family first before they hook up anybody else outside. If there's any shares left. But with the DAO, it eliminates all that bullshit. It eliminates all that bullshit because here are the parameters. You get 100 DAO tokens for every 1 Ether that you send in, right? So because of that, everyone in the world can participate now. Everyone. It doesn't matter if you're a millionaire. It doesn't matter if you're a low-income worker or a high-income or you're a middle-class worker. It does not matter. Everybody has an equal opportunity to invest into this project.
Right. And there's no deceiving it. There's no cheating it.
Yeah, and it's public and it's transparent, and everyone can see what the proposals are, what's being invested in, right? And so let's just say that a team submits a porno proposal that they want to build some kind of decentralized porno app, and you're against it, and you don't want to. You don't want the money that you put into the DAO to be invested into the porno application because you're a Christian or you're a Muslim or you're a Buddhist. For whatever reasons that you have that you don't want to invest into that kind of project, you can vote no to it. Whereas with a regular venture capitalist firm, if you give them your money to invest for you, they can invest in whatever they want, and it may be something that's against what you believe in. You see what I'm saying? It might be against, they might invest into a factory that builds bombs and drops it on innocent people in the Middle East or in other countries or something, and you might be completely against it. Right?
True. I mean, when you're right, but even with this, I mean, you have a small vote, but
it's a small vote. It's a small vote, but it's a legitimate vote. So let's say that you and we invest into the DAO and we only make we represent a very, very small percentage of it, right? Let's just say that we represent only a small percentage of it. But here's the thing. Right. Let's just say, for example, we only represent a small percentage of it, but check this out. Check this out, okay? Checkity check.
Yep.
You and I can get on YouTube like we are right now, and we tell them, hey, look, these guys are, they want, these curators just submitted, a proposal to build this decentralized porno app or whatever that cannot be censored by the countries or whatever. And let's just say you and I don't believe in it. We can get on YouTube, we can make a video, and we can speak out against it and try to persuade the other DAO token holders to vote against it. Right? We can actually, even if we have just a small share in the let's say we only bought 1 Ether worth. We only own 100 tokens, right, of the DAO. We can still have the ability to get on stage and scream at the top of our lungs not to vote for this proposal, right? We still have equal share and equal rights, and just like everybody else. And here's the thing. Let's just say that I don't want nobody. Let's say that nobody knows who you are, right? You haven't put your face on video or nothing. Let's just say that you want to speak out against building this decentralized porno app, right? You can actually just make a recording of your voice and submit it and put it up on YouTube why you're against it, and you never have to reveal yourself. So you can be anonymous and speak out against something that you don't believe in and still have a voice in the vote. Whereas right now, let's just say that somebody, the regular venture capitalist firms right now, if you want to speak out against something, you have to reveal your face, and you have to be, you have to present yourself, and then now people are going to see who you are, and they may not like doing business with you in the future.
I actually like this from a business point of view, where it's definitely an old boys network out there.
Yeah, it is.
It is. Take care of your friends. Like with this, it's just a pure level playing field.
Exactly.
You live and die by the sword.
Yeah.
If you take your risk.
Yeah, exactly. You're willing to take the risk. Like, I made, several thousand% profit from investing into Ethereum. But you know what? I took that risk. I was willing to take that risk. I don't need no government telling me that, I'm not allowed to take that risk because I don't make $250,000 a year or because I don't have $1 million net worth. Don't tell me what to do. I know what to do with my own money. I'm the one who earned it. I'm not the one that's $1 trillion in debt, in government debt, telling somebody else how to make money. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got the government that,
right.
In the U.S. government is over trillions of dollars in debt, and they're creating trillions of dollars in debt every month or every year, and now they're going to turn around and tell me how to, how to invest my money and how to make money. Well, they don't even know how to manage money themselves. You know what? They should be watching my YouTube channel and listening to me and the Oracle of Cryptocurrency, leonfu.com, and maybe they'll get out of debt.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So because of that, it creates a level playing field. If you ever read that book called, there's a famous book out there, and it's called, it's something flat. I forget what it is. There's a book out there. It talks about the world is flat. I just lost it all of a sudden. But the title of the book is something flat. And it talks about how the world has a level playing field now because of thanks to the internet, computers, and technology, and the ability, airplanes and things for us to travel and move around. The world is now a level playing field. It's not stacked in favor of the upper class, the royalty, the what I call the 3 R's. The rich, the royalty, and the religious. Right? It's not stacked in their favor no more. It's bringing things back down to Main Street where 99% of us are living, the little guys like us. Okay? And so the Ethereum network, and it's not just the Ethereum blockchain or the Ethereum network, but the Ethereum blockchain, the Bitcoin blockchain, or any blockchain out there, the entire cryptocurrency market, the reason why, myself and leonfu.com, we've dedicated ourselves to spreading the word about cryptocurrencies is because of this. It levels the playing field for everyone. It's the first time in human history where, we have tried to go to war. We've tried to drop bombs on innocent people and shoot innocent people everywhere around the world to level the playing field for, to create equality. And along comes, Satoshi Nakamoto, who created this, blockchain technology, this Bitcoin technology. And now it's the first time that, both Leon and I have always thought that, there needs to be change in the government, there needs to be change in society. We never thought that a technology would come along and level the playing field for the little guys like us on Main Street. That's why it's so revolutionary. That's why, I scream at the top of my lungs to everybody that I meet about cryptocurrencies because it's the first time. You don't need, to change the government. You don't need to change anything. It's just the technology itself is going to do the change for us. And I got a little
true it is, my man.
I got a little sidetrack there, because we were supposed to be, this call was supposed to be about the DAO Hub. You got any other questions about the DAO?
No. I'm sitting in front of my customer right now. I got to actually hop.
Okay. All right, man. Thanks for listening to this, guys. If you guys have any questions, comments, or suggestions for future videos or future phone calls, just leave it in the comments section below. Jeff got back to his client, and I got to run back and take care of my clients too. So if you haven't subscribed to our channel, guys, make sure you hit the subscribe button. And if you have friends or family that you guys want to get interested into investing into cryptocurrencies, make sure that you let them know about our channel because we like to make it simple for people to invest in cryptocurrencies here. All right. Thanks for watching and listening to our channel, guys, and we'll see you guys in the next episode.